Hello, let us continue with John 5 verse 20. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all he does. Yes, and he will show him even greater works than these, so that you will be amazed. See, the Father loves the Son. And it's been pointed out that it could be understood in a sense that he loves him continuously, in a continuous sense which never really had a beginning. And I remember talking to a friend of mine who didn't think Jesus had eternal existence. And I asked him this question, that do you think that God has all his authority, has existed from eternity? And he said, yeah, sure. And I asked him that, do you think that he has been loving from the beginning? He was like, yeah, sure. And I asked him a question that, so who do you think he loved before he created Jesus? He couldn't answer, and I think the reason he couldn't answer because it doesn't make sense. The only sense for God to have all his attributes from eternity, if he existed in a more than one person as a unity, because I just heard it today in a book that in the Old Testament, Hear O Israel, your God is one, something like that. And the word is Elohim. It's a plural word, but it's used in a singular sense. But the word one there is like unity. So a plural God used in a singular sense is one, as in a unity. So even in the Old Testament, and the one Elohim is not even understood that plural as in dual, but plural as in multiple, as in more than two. So three, Trinity. So even in the Jewish text, you could sort of infer that God is not exactly one person and one being. And I was reading somewhere that many Jews understood that God has actually existence, which is not one person in one body. They thought that it was actually God, at least God and the Spirit. They thought them as separate, but they thought that the Spirit of God was sort of God as well. And this is how verse 21 continues. For just as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, even so the Son gives life to whom he is pleased to give. Let me read you 1 Samuel 2:6. The Lord brings death and makes alive. He brings down to the grave and raises up. So the Jews understood that only God is able to bring back someone to life. And it's interesting that even rabbis later, they didn't think that even the Messiah was able to bring back someone to life, only God. So the Jews didn't think that Jesus was the Messiah, but later, as the idea of Messiahship developed, they didn't think even the Messiah was going to be able to bring someone back from death. So therefore, they didn't think that God could be the Messiah. Verse 22, moreover, the Father judges no one, but he has entrusted all judgment to the Son. And the other thing, I didn't look for the verse, I should have. But in the Old Testament, the Jews understood that it was only God who could judge. All judgment was to be done by God, but now the Father gave the judgment to the Son, which again means that it is something that only God is entitled to do, being able to judge. And in verse 23, that's what it says. That all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him. So although the Son, as I mentioned already, is a sort of a subordinate to the Father, but at the same time they have the same rank, the same power, the same being, the same office. And I already mentioned how it is to be understood. But the reason I'm telling you these things, because look, Jesus here just explained that he's the Son of God and he's co-equal with the Father. But the other thing is we might have friends who don't believe that Christ is God, who don't believe that Christ has existed from eternity. And I'm not sure how God is going to deal with these people, because I haven't really looked into this, but I'd rather be right about this. I'd rather people understand this than not worrying about it and, getting an unpleasant surprise on Judgment Day. So I'm really hoping that it will bring you one step closer to understanding that Christ is who He said He was, that He is God, and the only salvation is in Him. Amen.